What up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Dodgers Territory. He is back. He is no longer sick. Happy to have my boy Clint Pasillas back on the show, and certainly happy that you guys are with us as well. Hit that subscribe button, like all the things. We're almost at 9,500 subs. We appreciate you guys very much. Clint Pasillas, welcome back. The Dodgers may never lose a game. Let's get to the big ticket.
Let's do it.
And you noticed it. First defending World Series champs to start a season 8-0 or better. It's every single day. These teams, these people, these players, this the organization's making history. The great Sarah Lang's putting it on the Twitterverse, so you know it's true. I mean, this is impressive. And last night, as you so eloquently mentioned, Clint, they had no business winning this game, and they did anyway.
That was, listen, you appreciate the end result. The process to get there, at least in the first couple of innings, was absolutely atrocious. Dave Roberts saying a couple of times, dumbfounded by the way that game transpired in the early goings. Just unclean baseball. Very, very unpolished baseball. Not becoming of a team that is coming off a World Series title and that is now 8-0. They had been playing some great baseball, maybe a 5:30 start, mixed up some of the juju in there, but doesn't matter. What matters ultimately is that they find a way to win that game. Of course, they find a way to win that game on Shohei Ohtani bobblehead night with Ohtani dropping a tank. I mean, inevitable.
I keep saying Hollywood.
I keep seeing inevitable. And I think that's overused, that word, when we're talking about the Dodgers, inevitable, but they were inevitable last night.
I mean, it's ridiculous because Shohei Ohtani, of course, on his bobblehead night, one of many, and the people lined up, 3-4 hours earlier, and every single person in the park got one, which was kind of funny. I don't know if I would have been irritated or just relieved that I knew I was going to get one. But coming down, Clint, after a 5-run deficit and 3 errors where the defense played so poorly behind the Dodgers pitching staff. And to be able to come from behind and do that, I mean, Ohtani, what a magical moment again. I mean, again, I'm running out of superlatives. I'm running out of accolades. I'm running out of adjectives. I'm running out of all the things. But as Court the Crusader had to say, thank goodness baseball is 9 innings and not just 4, as Court the Crusader is weighing in on our chat here. Make sure you guys get your your comments in, ask us questions, all the things. But hey, I'm all for it. This goes to show you too, Clint, that they're doing it in come from behind fashion, which is not good for the heartbeat. It's not good for the nail beds. But they've trailed in 6 of the 8 wins. 2 of those have been walk-off wins. Bill Plunkett, putting it there again on the Twitterverse. Again, I would like to have a laugher now and again, but at the end of the day, it's all about the W's and the L's in the columns, right?
Yeah, 162-0 remains on the table. I've been I unexpectedly started something on my Twitter where each game they win, I quote tweet of 162 remaining on the table. I say bump, and last night was motherfucking bump.
Oh, you bumped it.
That was a great again. It was an ugly game, great win. Max Muncy, he had himself an adventure, an emotional day as well. Writing the lowest of lows, a couple of errors in there, wearing those. He had talked after the game as well about getting his starting pitcher out of the rhythm. Later on in the show, we're going to talk about a lot of starting pitching. Obviously, the Dodgers are off today, so we can kind of talk about a little bit of everything from this historic start to the season. But Muncy was mad at himself for getting Blake Snell out of rhythm, and you saw that. Snell did not have his best stuff, working against being squeezed a little bit there, didn't necessarily have his fastball command, and then a couple of errors, Pajes mixed in there as well, just kind of threw a wrench into the game plan for Blake Snell. But still, a shout out to this Dodgers bullpen for doing what they do best and keeping the game at a 5-0 deficit, giving the Dodgers enough time, the bats enough time to come back. And one of those bats, a key bat, Max Muncy, late in the game, after going to the, I hate saying the torpedo bat, but he has the torpedo bat. He says, you know what, F this crap. I'm going back to my tried and true, and uses the full length of that bat, gets it off the end of the bat a little bit, cranks a 2-run double into right field, and all of a sudden just all of that washes over him. He's like, I tied the game for my team, setting up the stage for Shohei Ohtani. And, Muncy, it's not just him. I mean, this lineup has been getting
No.
it done. And you have to
They've been,
when you have,
yeah, they have been getting it done, but there's also some anemia too in the lineup, and you have
yeah,
to appreciate the fact that somehow they've rattled off an 8-0 record to start the 2025 season, and there's still a lot of guys that haven't even been. I mean, Freddie Freeman's played in what, half of their games. Mookie Betts
less.
weighs about
Yeah.
100 pounds, and he's still figuring out right now. But BC in our chat makes up a good point. Muncie 120, Pajes 120, Kike 105, Rojas .063, Taylor and Barnes are hitting nothing. They haven't
Yeah.
gotten a hit yet. So again, a lot
But
of that too is opportunities for those guys. But the point is, we're still 8-0. I say we like I play. The team is still 8-0, and you haven't had the big guns, and the lineup up and down is not fully producing yet on all cylinders, as they say.
hey, but it just takes, guys coming up clutch at the right times. Michael Conforto has been great for this team. We got to talk about the legend of Tommy Edman. Tommy frickin' Tanks doing some special things for this team, leading the team in homers with 4 to open the season, 7 RBI. Of course, Teoscar Hernandez, he's down. Hitting 200, but finds a way to always drive in runs, coming up with big clutch hits. Even Kike, not a lot of hits, but making them count. And that's the important thing, giving themselves this nice cushion. And I know, you and Ken Rosenthal this morning talking about the abysmal Braves, and just imagine just the complete opposite ends of the spectrum there when you're talking about the Dodgers versus the Braves. And we're talking about history in a positive way. Braves talking about history in the worst possible way. You don't come back from an 06-07 start, but
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
just
here's
a
the
lot
thing
of
with the
bats
Braves.
working well.
They haven't won yet, and no team has ever made the playoffs in Major League Baseball
Yeah,
history, having lost the first 7 games of the season. I'm not counting the Braves out yet. Okay, I really am
no,
not. I believe in Brian Snitker. I believe in that team. They're getting some guys back once they're healthy, and I know that starting rotation is pretty dang good. But let's talk about the fact too that the Dodgers have run into some pretty hefty pitching. I mean, the teams that we have swept so far, the teams that they have swept so far have some, again, all of those teams are in the conversation for postseason contention, and they've run into all of their aces, and they've been able to beat all of the aces. I mean, this is a team that is undefeated. They saw the likes of, obviously, Tarek Skubal. They saw Shota Imanaga. They saw Justin Steele. I mean, this is a team that has played decent baseball against pretty good opposition. So
yeah,
you want to beat these teams, right? You're supposed to beat the teams like the Pirates and those that don't necessarily have playoffs in their sights. But to beat these teams that do is pretty cool.
yeah. And you mentioned a couple of the pitchers there, Jack Flaherty as well, Chris Sale, the reigning NL Cy Young Award winner. They're finding ways to get to these guys. Dustin May outdueled Chris Sale. You're finding a lot of different ways to put up enough runs each game, put enough points on the board to beat some what were supposed to be very good teams. So far it's been a lot of fun. Watching. We already talked a little bit about Mookie as well. There's something fun about putting a chip on Mookie Betts' shoulder and watching him go out there and play. You mentioned him playing at 100 pounds or whatever. Jokingly, he's close to like 165 now because he's eating during ball games and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, doing this without Freddie, it's so weird to not see Freddie Freeman in a lineup. Of course, he'll be back tomorrow. Expect to be back in that lineup against the Phillies in Philadelphia. But all the right things just falling right now. It's not going to be like this forever. Getting pretty close. I put the graphic back up. Close to franchise history we're chasing right now. But it's a fun start to the season, and I didn't necessarily anticipate this hot start.
Yeah, I thought that actually if they were going to lose their first game of the season, it was going to be up against Chris Sale and the Atlanta Braves. I'm glad, of course, that I was wrong, but they're not going to go 73-0 like we would love them to do, winning 11 straight in the postseason after running the table over the course of the regular season. But here's something that's pretty cool. I mean, you think about the fact we were just talking about the caliber of pitchers that the Dodgers offense was facing, and they knocked out, albeit early, they knocked out the reigning NL and AL Cy Young Award winners in Chris Sale and Tarek Skubal. So there you have it. All right, much more to come here on Dodgers territory with Clint Pasillas and myself. But before that, let's get to a quick word from our friends Eric Kratz, AJ Przinsky, Scott Braun on Homage.
FT fam, legends never die. That is the motto for Homage. Go to homage.com and get yourself maybe one of these tees. This was one of my favorites from spring training. Got a little grapefruit league action. nice, iconic looking logo. And behind me on the back is all the teams that are listed for the Grapefruit League. You've got, of course, if you're more of an Arizona person, you've got the t-shirt for that too. But Kratz, I just love the way that they give you the highest quality material and then a little vintage action if you're looking for it.
I love the vintage. I've been a baseball fan my whole life, and teams change their logos. If you're looking for a logo that your team used to have, Homage is your place to go. Go cop one of the old logos from the major league teams that maybe they don't use anymore.
Yeah, homage.com/foul territory. Go to the website and then use the code foul territory, the name of our show, for 20% off if you're a first-time purchaser on the website. Go check it out, FT fam.
Feel good, Tommy. I don't give a shit. You feel good. There's 4 months hits up there.
Shout out, Tommy.
That never gets old. Shout out to Tommy Lasorda. May he rest in peace. All right, it is mound visit time, which means we're talking pitching. Obvi. Since we were last live, Clint, we saw 2 pretty solid season debuts as far as domestic season debuts are concerned. Tyler Glasnow, obviously, 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, and 8 Ks. Love the swing and miss there. And obviously, Tyler is a very, very good pitcher. But what I was most impressed with was the emotion shown and the production received from Dustin May, having not pitched in 682 days or something insane like that. 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, the 3 free passes, and 6 Ks. He struck out the side, I want to say, in that first inning out. It was their first or second inning. The emotion that was there, you saw the emotion from his wife, his family, his crew. Yeah. That's really cool and good for him, because this is, I know we like to joke that how the hell you choke on a piece of lettuce, or how do you have an esophagus issue? But that was very serious, and he very well could have, it could have been fatal. I'm psyched to see it, and I'm psyched to see that fire. But more importantly, I'm excited to see the command. What did you see from him in his debut?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't expect, Dustin May to be one of the headline seekers or headline makers for this Dodgers vaunted rotation, including names like Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki, Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell. But really kind of the story of the week for me is Dustin May coming back. He's missed the better part of the last 4 seasons with injuries. Of course, very close to coming back last year until that unfortunate incident there at dinner. And of course, we had his wife on the show a couple weeks ago who told us about all of the kind of build up leading up to that point. He was just on the doorstep of learning, like, hey, you're going on your rehab assignment. You're going to rejoin the team in probably about a month. And then all of a sudden, I mean, the carpet pulled out from under him. So to see the emotion very much on his sleeve, I loved every second of it. And it would have been one thing if it's like, yeah, he goes out there and he just survives an inning, a good choice of word there, surviving the inning there. But no, he did it with style. I think he struck out the side coming off the mound in that final K. A little bit of help from home plate umpire on that third strikeout in the first inning. But it was something special to see this kid come back from all of that. And the thing with Dustin May, he's always been a very, very good pitcher. The problem is, can't stay on the mound. So now it's about repeating. It's about doing this every 5th or 6th day, moving forward, taking command of that final roster spot, that final spot in the starting rotation, and just letting it eat from there. But so far, so good. Nasty. The slider sweeper is better than it's ever been in his career. And it was overall just a very special night and part of a special open to this season for the team.
I want to ask you too. I mean, it was pretty decent outings from your Cy Young pick of the year in the National League, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, as well as Blake Snell. Now, Blake Snell had 5 runs on the line, but they weren't earned. It wasn't him. It was the crappy defense that they played behind him, but they were able to get out of that and still got the win. So he didn't factor into the decision, all unearned. But this is what you want, right? You got 5 guys, 6 guys that can just absolutely shove it down your throat in any given night. And God help us when the offense really gets going.
Yeah. Who's impressed you so far, most so far from this pitching staff?
Ooh, that's tough. Not Sasaki, because I think that he's a young kid that has to figure some things out.
Yeah,
Snell, I've always been in a second. Yeah, we will. That's tough because I think they're all pretty good. Nobody over the other. to be honest with you. Like, I feel like most of them are doing exactly what we expect. They are who we thought they were.
Fair,
You know,
fair.
I do feel like nobody's like, oh my God, he's doing so much better than I thought he would, or like, oh wow, this is terrible. So I think they're they are what the back of their baseball cards are to me right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'll to throw a couple names out for my own sake. Kirby Yates has been like.
Oh, I thought you were talking about starters.
Well,
My bad.
I mean, in general, just starting pitch or pitching as a whole. Starting pitching wise, I think Glasnow's return to the mound was also. You mentioned the punch there. 8 strikeouts in his debut. Absolutely filthy, and you know he's still pissed coming off of last season, missing the postseason run, not pitching at any point after the month of August. So for him to come out there and just straight up deal, that felt good. That had to feel really, really good for him. But pitching staff as a whole. My buddy Anthony Banda, he's also going out there somehow getting better. He's been fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say Banda. My bad. I thought you were talking about just the starting staff. But
I set you up poorly.
No, that's okay. Bonda's been really good. Kirby Yates, who I never even imagined we'd get in addition to Tanner Scott and all of the things. I think it's pretty cool. Here's one thing I wanted to ask you though, too. And Mr. Seabad, I believe in our chat, brings up a really good point. He's saying put Rizzo in center field, can't be as bad as Pasillas. Well, that's funny, Ouch. But that's not the comment I wanted to talk about. He said, tap the brakes, folks. Padres are undefeated. Giants swept the Astros. Diamondbacks are in striking distance. Rockies are a great 9th grade baseball team. Ouch. But to the point that we wanted to make with that here is that the NL West is really flipping good. And you and I had said that before, that we thought perhaps, because we know it's been the AL East for quite some time, sometimes it's the AL West. But right now, I think the NL West is the toughest division. There easily could be 4 teams in the postseason from this division.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that I call it the NL best. They were going to be very good so far. I mean, the Padres, I didn't have 7-0 on my bingo card there. They're playing really, really good baseball over there in San Diego. Giants 5-1 right now. Nothing nothing to bat an eyelash at. Diamondbacks are in the hunt. Rockies suck as we expect, but this is all going to be good for the Dodgers. I mean, to be 8-0 but still only have a half-game lead, keep challenging the best. To keep challenging, and it's just going to reap good things for the Dodgers. I will say I can't wait to actually see Dodgers Padres coming up soon. I mean, they think they kind of buried them in the schedule. But
it sucks. Whatever. They don't play until mid-June. They don't play each other until mid-June, which is just stupid. How do you not play a division opponent until mid-June? That's just dumb. Let me ask you about the situation with Roki Sasaki, because I know that there's differing opinions about this. Roki Sasaki, obviously very emotional. We've said it 1,000 times. Everyone's using the same phrases, right? Unfinished product, he's raw, this, that, and the other thing. But he showed some emotion, and former big league backstop Jonathan Lucroy had this to say about Sasaki. No one has time for a kid crying on national TV in one of the biggest sports markets in the world. Now, excuse me, sir, but I don't think you said the same comments when you saw Freddie Freeman crying. Did Jonathan Lucroy come out and say anything about Freddie Freeman when he was emotional after the Atlanta Braves elected not to sign him back and the Los Angeles Dodgers did? And not for nothing, it is a very different culture in Japan where this not to say that American-born players don't care about the game. That is not what I'm suggesting, but it's just a different kind of ownership and responsibility, I believe, to Japanese-born players when it comes to playing baseball. And he is a young kid, and sometimes people express their emotions in different ways, right? Like when I get upset, I don't cry. I think I've cried 5 times in my entire life. When I get upset, I get angry, right? And that's how my emotions manifest themselves. Perhaps that's the way Roki Sasaki deals with things. That's not something that an outside big league catcher should have anything to say about a guy that is not your teammate. You're not in the dugout with him. You're not in the clubhouse with him. And let his team figure out a way to handle that situation to make Roki Sasaki more comfortable or get better at his craft. I just don't understand what incentivizes somebody to say that. You don't even know, as far as I know, maybe he does. You don't even know the guy.
Yeah, it's a load of horse crap that, this poor boy is showing emotion. He must be some weak, pathetic individual. There's no crying in baseball. Men should not show emotion. Look, the dude is 23 years old. he has the weight of the world on his shoulders. He has a country on probably on his shoulders as well. Just all of the headlines that he generated from the last 2 years of, I want to go to Major League Baseball. Now I'm going to Major League Baseball. I'm playing for the best team in baseball. It's my home debut. Didn't have a great Major League debut in Japan. There's a massive letdown there. He feels bad for himself. He feels bad for his team. He feels like, I want to do really, really effing good here. And I didn't. And it sucks. And I feel very emotional letting my team down there. But I don't see anything wrong with that. Let these, let people express themselves. Let him feel how he wants. I agree with you as well. Like in Japan, it's okay. It's more okay. It's more accepted to show some sort of emotion there on the field. But then you get these dudes, people, like the old school mentality. I just think
people show emotion in different ways. And I think that shows that he cares. It's like I've asked Clayton Kershaw 1,000 times, like, do you still get nervous? And he's like, if you're not nervous, it means you don't care. And once I'm not nervous anymore, it means that I don't care and it's time to go. I just, whatever he was crying for, to me, it's like, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to show emotion in whatever form it is that you want. So Jonathan, please just, it's all right, man. Like he's allowed to cry. That's just silly. All right. We're going to face the Philadelphia Phillies coming up here. And this is a series. I always love playing the Phillies. I loved Citizens Bank Park. I love that team. I think they're good. I think they're going to be a postseason opponent. What do you need to see against the Fightins?
Keep on keeping on with what you're doing. Try to get the rest of your lineup going. Some of those names you mentioned. Hopefully last night's RBI double for Muncy is a sign of things to come, because Muncy really, really needs to get some things going there. Getting Freddie back in the lineup is going to be nice, but we're going to see another Roki start there in Philadelphia. So to see him facing the caliber of a lineup, it will be the best lineup that he's faced so far in his what will be 3 major league starts. So I need to see Roki probably get a little bit deeper into a game, mitigate the walk, mitigate that arm side loss of his fastball, and everybody else just, again, keep on keeping on with the bats and the timely hitting. That's what I want to see. Sweep the Phillies. Set a record.
Wow.
I want to break this.
You're asking for a sweep.
I want to break this record.
You love this tweet.
I want to break this record.
So, however, according to our producer, Sarah, it feels like they have struggled in recent years at Citizens Bank Park. Yeah. They were swept in 2024. Well, that's garbage. And they lost 2 of 3 in 2023. So let's flip that script. Okay. Let's at least get a series win. I know Clint's asking for the sweep.
Wait, why not?
I'm
Doesn't
gonna
hurt to ask.
F it. 162-0. Let's go. All right. Let's get to last licks. All right, guys, I want to introduce you again to Chip. He looks like a chocolate chip. He's the cutest little boy in the world. He's 1 year old. He is just a sweet, sweet boy. Good with kids, good with other dogs. He's a little bit timid, but he's playful. He's active, would be great with an active family, an individual or a family that likes to take hikes or long walks or go for runs or whatever. He is currently in West Covina being fostered, but he definitely needs a forever home. Please consider adopting him, or at the very least sharing him. Go to Gidry'sGuardian.org or hit me up on social. I can get you more information about this sweet boy named Chip, who was dumped and abandoned in West Covina, and we got to get him a good home. What is your baseball thought for the road, Mr. Pasillas?
So, Alanna, every time this team does go to Philadelphia, it makes me think of one hot date you had with the Fanatic.
Oh, brother.
And I want you to regale everybody with what was going on here in this scene here. You had some beef.
First of all, other than Rocky with the Denver Nuggets, the Philly Fanatic probably is the best mascot in all of sport, with Rocky being a very close second. This fool would not leave me alone the entire series. I want to say this was 2017, and he would not leave me alone. He wanted me to go on a date with him. And he set this up right before pregame. It was obviously a day game. It was a getaway day, and it was hotter than sin. And he had, thank goodness it was water in that vase, right? And his big belly, he moved, and his big belly knocked over the water. That was not supposed to happen. So he profusely apologized, and he actually spoke. And if you know anything about mascots, of course, they're not allowed to talk, right? But he was like, oh my God, he knew I was pissed, right? So his big old belly knocks over the vase of water. I am soaking wet, and I have to do the pregame and the game sitting there in Philadelphia with soaking wet pants. He sent over a stuffed animal of him that he signed, and he felt terribly about it. But needless to say, I'm Cuban and Italian, and I was pissed.
I saw at the end there. We
have since made up. And he has moved on to other sideline reporters, so he has conveniently cheated on me every single series since that time.
He doesn't text you up late at night or something like that.
No, he's well moved on from me. He is well moved on from me. I think dumping the water all over me and me smacking him in his snout, whatever the hell that thing is. I don't even know what the Fanatic is. He's moved on. He's gone to the younger versions of sideline reporters. So we have moved on. What is coming up on All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas?
We'll be live tonight at some point in time. Myself, producer Kevin, talking about your Los Angeles Dodgers, taking some voicemails. Guys, call in, share your thoughts about your 8-0 Los Angeles Dodgers on my voicemail hotline. Check it out on my YouTube channel, All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas. I should probably push the button so people know where that is. So while you're on the internet, go there, subscribe, like all the videos there, like all the videos here. We'd appreciate it as well. It goes a long way in helping get us to 10,000 subscribers. Do subscribe to the channel here. Dodgers territory.
Yes, please.
Every single Monday and Thursday.
We're almost at 9,500. So let's do it. All right, everybody. Hopefully the next time Clint and I talk to you, because they're not playing today, so that would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They'll be 11-0 on Monday.
Record,
all right,
baby.
Go
Record.
Dodgers.
Okay, bye.